the vamp.
Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning into my very first YouTube video and for tuning into my channel. I hope you will like the content. I plan on reviewing independently and self-published books on a weekly basis. Just a little bit of a background about myself. I'm also a self-published writer. My very first novel, Cornflakes, was released in April this year. It's right here, yay! If you are interested in checking that out, I'd appreciate that, and I have included the link in the subscription box below. The novel I would love to talk to you about today is a book called The Escape to Candyland by Yong Takahashi. What I love about the book, what's drawn me in from the very beginning, was just a very straight to the point writing style without any kind of frilliness or unnecessary words. It's very straight to the point. It's entertaining, intriguing, and I think a very unusual writing style as well. So that novel just drew me straight in from the get-go. So basically, where within most novels you have one or two main characters that you follow from the beginning of the book all the way through to the very end. That book is basically more or less a homage to the town of Atlanta, and we get to know quite a variety of different characters, and each and every chapter is dedicated to a different main character. So in a sense, it's almost reading like a collection of short stories. So we have small chunks of stories, but they all kind of interlink with each other, if that makes sense. And with the fast-paced writing style, the very intriguing characters, it was a book that I had to finish from the start to the very end. One of the main things that I really, really love about that novel is that you meet such a diverse, interesting amount of different characters from completely different life situations, different social statuses, queer characters, straight characters, diverse backgrounds. You have the illegal immigrant, you have queer characters, you have characters with mental issues. So it's just a very diverse, very real life-like setting of characters, and you get a very, very clear overview what a diverse city life actually looks like. It's all very realistic, and all the character descriptions are very three-dimensional. It's just so very, very well done. Like, each and every of those characters felt like a genuinely real and true person to me. And it was so interesting to read about them, to read about the stories, what they go through in their daily lives. Also, the different scenarios that are being touched upon are so tenderly and well written that they just draw you in. Like, for example, one of the things that I personally like most about the novel is a character called Ellen. I don't want to give too much away from the plot, but that is a character with a mental health struggle, and it's something that I'm personally very interested in. It's something that I'm very critical about in novels. I find that oftentimes mental health issues are very stereotypical. But with that particular novel, I just felt like it was touched in a very real and raw way. I felt like we were really there with the characters, understand where she was coming from, why she was doing the things she was doing. It was so genuine, so real, and we were so close there with her, in her mind, in her head, to really understand what was going on there. And it was just so very precious, and it was what was one of the things that was so very interesting to me in relation to that with Ellen, with other characters, is that we get to meet them as the narrator of their chapter, but then we may be meeting them again as a secondary character in one of the other chapters. So we do get the perspective of what is the person thinking of themselves, how are they perceiving them, what are their inner struggles, what are their concerns. But then we also see them, how they are being perceived from an outside perspective. And again, it just has such a real feel to it, because at the end it translates so well into real life, because obviously in real life we know our own inner working, we know how we tick, but then kind of in a way everyone else in our life is a secondary character, because we only get to see a side of them, but we can't really open their heads and look inside. So I think that book just kind of points out or gives us an idea of, oh, but the way that person sees themselves, what they're going through, the things that you may not know about, it may be a completely different story. And it's just very, very fascinating, because it's touching on so many different facets of human life. And I'm sorry if I've been rambling, but I'm just still so passionate about that book, and I can only recommend that. So I'll also put the link in the description block below. The Escape to Candyland by Yong Takahashi. Please have a look. It's such an amazing read. That concludes the very end of my very first video. Please do let me know what you think in the comments. Also, if you have anything to say about the book, or if there are any other books that you would like to recommend, please let me know. I look forward to reading that. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you like and subscribe, and then hopefully see you again at the same time next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
On your knees is like traveling through Alaska.